You see this? This is Ulysses S. Grant, the 18th President of the United States of America. And what is he on? Well, of course, it's the $50 bill. And what am I gonna be spending $50 on? If you don't know, go ahead and look at the title of this video. Books! Obviously, I'm spending it on books. You see, I'm a sucker for a good deal, and I love thrifting my books, so I figured I'd take my $50 to the thrift store and see how many books we can get. Let's go. All right, everyone, today is the day. I have my $50 here. I'm actually at the thrift store. It opens in about 5 minutes, so we'll be able to get hopefully first dibs on everything in there. I like to go right when the store opens because I feel like that's when they have the best selection because people haven't dug through it all day yet. So hopefully we'll find some good stuff. I'm only planning on going to 2 thrift stores today. This thrift store here is Deseret Industries. The locals here call it DI. It's kind of all over Utah and Idaho, so grew up going to it. And it's a good thrift store. Basically, it's all donation based, so everyone just donates their stuff here. So everything is just kind of gonna be depending on what people have been donating recently. So I don't really have an idea in mind of like any types of books that I want to get this time. It's just gonna be whatever we can find. So I'm really excited for it.
Okay, they have just opened. So let's head on in.
Oh, I'm slipping away. So don't let me go. Nah, 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 nah. I'm all up in that love haze. So where do we go now? Nah? Just let me know that I am safe here in your arms.
The Maid is actually one of my favorite books. It's only $3. There's not a dust jacket on it, but we could probably make one or order one online. So I think we'll add that.
That was a big success. Let's talk about it in my car. Okay, so we just finished with the first thrift store. I spent $22.50, so I have $27.50 remaining out of my 50 bucks, and I got 11 books, which I actually could have gotten a lot more, but I kind of had in my mind I would spend half at this thrift store and half at the next thrift store and see, maybe compare like how many books we can get each one. The next thrift store has a really cool deal where if you buy 4 books, you get the 5th one for free. But yeah, 11 books we got. And I'll be honest, like today's selection wasn't super great. They didn't have a ton of stuff, I feel like, but still was happy with what we picked up. I got some good gems in here, I think. None of these, except for one, I read before. So that's gonna be a fun little challenge for me in the future to start reading all these books that I'm thrifting, because I've been thrifting a lot. Anyway, let's head to the next thrift store and see what we can get there. Those mountains though, they be popping today. They're so pretty. Look at that. All right, we've made it to Savers and we'll see what we can find here. I always have good success at this store, so I'm hoping for the best.
Expand across the fields like chrysanthemums in blue. It's the wind, so much to feel. We're all just stick inside. So work it out, stick it out, work it out. Oh, 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 oh. And a promise is a promise. Will you finish what you started? I was born to believe that the change in the leaves could really mean anything, love. I crossed the mountains and the ocean for ya.
You know that you live in Utah when there's a million Book of Mormons. I've actually been looking for this one and it's in super good condition. Nice.
I need that cool love, and I'm frozen from the start. Frozen from the start. Oh, straight nights to see, but you were stuck inside and out. How long to hear your breath?
Okay, confession. I went $2 over. I forgot about taxes, but we still got everything for basically 50 bucks. And I got some good ones. So let's go home. I'll show you guys everything we got.
Oh my goodness. All right, we're back. We spent $50 and got, wait, how many books are there actually? 20 books, so about $2 and like something cents per book. What a great deal. We got 20 books. That's so many. Oh my gosh. Let me start going through, just give you guys a quick little haul of everything that we purchased at the thrift store today. Let's start with this pile right here. This is a pile that I got from Savers. Now Savers does have a deal where you can buy 4 books, you get the 5th book free. I think I got 9 books from there, so I could have actually gotten one more and gotten it for free. I guess I wasn't really thinking, and it was hard to find good books today. I felt like it was really hard to find books that I was like interested in reading or that I had read before, or like I kind of had recognized the name. Like it was just hard for me. So that was kind of a bummer because it made it just, you know, I was trying to just find books that looked interesting. So hopefully these ones are good. Anyway, starting off, we have Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. This is a National Book Award finalist, and I liked the cover. I liked that it was a bee. My mom was really into bees. And what's kind of hard with a lot of these books from Savers is that they put this big sticker, the price sticker, on the back, so you kind of can't read a lot of the summary of it. But it looks like it's about somebody. The first line says, "When young, beautiful Rosa went missing," and then you can't read the rest. So I think it's kind of like a little bit of a mystery novel or a thriller potentially. I feel like that's what a lot of the books are that I got today, were big like thriller or mystery novels. So I'm excited to read this one. It looks like it's won a couple of awards and stuff, so hopefully it's really good. Then we got We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I actually have read this book before. I really, really liked it, if I remember correctly. I remember, I think at the very end going, what the heck? Like honestly, what the heck? I actually posted about this book on my Bookstagram account as well. I think it was like my favorite read of the time or something like that. So I was happy to pick it up, and it was only $2.50. So what a deal. And then I grabbed The Obsession by Jessie Q. Sutanto. Again, all this says is boy meets girl, boy stalks girl, girl gets revenge. And I thought that the front was kind of interesting. This was in the YA section as well, like the young adult section. So I really like young adult books. Figured might as well just try it out. And it reminds me, it kind of gives me the vibes of like A Good Girl's Guide to Murder a little bit. So, and I really like those books. So, you know, just figured I might as well pick it up. It was also $2.50, so great deal. And then the first book that I actually found at Savers was The Host. This is by Stephanie Meyer, and this was the most expensive book at $5.50. And I really like Stephanie Meyer. For me, is an author that I love. I love Twilight so much. If you haven't seen my Twilight reread video, I have one. You can go check it out. It's on my channel. I have never read The Host though. I've never read The Chemist by her, and I've been wanting to pick these up when I go thrifting because I feel like I see them quite often at the thrift store, but they're always in pretty terrible condition. But this one's in very good condition, so I'm really excited to read it. It's a big boy, you know, big book, but it should be really good. I've heard good things. So all right, moving on to this pile. This pile's all from the DI, and the DI actually, like, usually I feel like I find really good things. There's a ton of stuff at the DI, but again, it was just kind of lacking a little bit for me. I wasn't super excited, I guess, about all the books, but I feel like I got some really good ones. So first one off, we have The Wife. It looks like it's going to be a little bit more like a thriller / mystery type of novel. Let's see what the back says about it. Girl meets boy, they fall in love. A couple of years later, boy is now being, he's now getting charges made against him about another woman. So his wife is now going to go investigate. So it should be an interesting book. I do like these books, so we'll see how this one goes. And it was also only $2. And it's kind of funny because you can see that it had a $10.50 price tag on it. I think this is like a Costco tag, so got it for a great deal. I also picked up Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. It also has Brave New World Revisited. This is also a book that I have already read. I really liked Brave New World. I remember I had to read it in high school, I believe, but just like a very different type of book, like utopia or dystopian type of world. So I have been thinking about it recently, just like randomly been thinking about this book, and then I found it. So I figured I might as well just pick it up. It's only $2, so there's that. I then found this one. This is A Girl of the Limberlost by Jean Stratton Porter. It kind of is classified as it looks like it's classified maybe as a classic, but it also is written on here. Where does it say? Oh, it says that this book has been called one of the most popular American novels ever published, which I've never even heard of this before, but it looks good. I mean, literally no clue oh my gosh, it's like broken on the inside. No clue what it's even about. Anyway, we'll see what we think about it. It looks really interesting. And it's only $1.50, so probably because it's broken on the inside, but that's okay. Then we have The Dressmaker of Khair Khana. I'm not quite sure, but I believe that this is either a nonfiction book or it's like based on a true story of it says 5 sisters, one remarkable family, and the woman who risked everything to keep them safe. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's about a person whose life was changed overnight when the Taliban seized control of Afghanistan after her father and brother were forced to flee. She became the sole breadwinner for her 5 siblings. That I just kind of thought seemed interesting. It was also only $1, so had to pick that up. I'm excited to read that and kind of see what it's about and see my thoughts on it. This was the first book I picked up at the DI. This is called Illestr, and this was also, again, it said on here, winner of the Man Asian Literary Prize, which actually is what piqued my interest because I feel like you don't really see a lot of male Asian writers, or at least I don't see that in my demographic at least. So I was really intrigued by this. The cover is really interesting as well. The inside says that it begins with a body on a clear winter day. A battered corpse of Crispin Salvador is pulled from the Hudson River. So it kind of looks like people are going to kind of try to figure out his death. So that just kind of sounded interesting to me. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever really read a book kind of like that before. Maybe Shadows of the Wind or something like that could be maybe comparable a little bit, but I'm excited to read it and to see what it's about. I also just think the cover is really cool, so definitely kind of judged it a little bit by its cover. I'm excited to read it, and it was also only $3. And the final book in this stack is The Maid by Nita Prose. This is actually a fairly new book. I think it was released in January of 2023, so it's still pretty new, and it is one of my absolute favorite books. Nita Prose is an amazing author in my opinion. She's only written, I think, 2 novels, The Maid and then The House Guest, or not The House Guest, The Mystery Guest. The Mystery Guest is really good as well. It did not come with a dust jacket on it, which usually would probably make me not want to buy it, but because I love this book so much, it was also only $3. I figured I can just print off the dust jacket, or I can order one online, and then nobody's gonna know. So
they're gonna know.
Anyway, next stack is also from the DI. So we have The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. I'm not a huge historical fiction person. It's just kind of hard for me to get through those books. I mean, I'll read them, but it's just a little difficult for me. However, this one just seemed interesting. It looks like it's a historical mystery novel, so I kind of thought the mystery novel would be kind of fun to play with. A woman is killed, another disappears, and the truth of what happened slips through the cracks of time. Sounds kind of interesting. I'm excited to read it and see what it's all about. Then we have I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. I have read Teresa Driscoll books before. I do like her, and I, again, just decided to buy it because it looked like a fun thriller slash mystery slash just I Am Watching You. It sounds a little creepy, and it probably is really creepy, but hey, I like those books, so I figured might as well pick it up, see what it's about. I feel like it could be a quick read, like a fast read. Thrillers are pretty fast reads for me, so wanted to grab that. This is The Dark Heart of Florence. This is an international bestseller by Michelle Guittieri. I have read, is it Inferno by Dan Brown? I really liked that book, and that takes place in Italy, in Florence, and I actually went to Florence a couple of years ago. It was amazing and beautiful, and I loved it so much that when I saw this, I was just really intrigued. I have stood on this bridge that he's standing on. It's a very famous bridge in Florence. A lot of people go there for the bridge because it was bombed in World War II, I think, by Adolf Hitler, but it like stayed up. Like it was one of the only bridges, or I think he said that they could bomb around it, but he didn't want to bomb the bridge because he liked that area or something like that. Can't quite remember if that's historically accurate, but I was just intrigued by it. I mean, I love that city so much. I love Italy so much, and so I figured a little crime mystery novel around that area would be something that I would really enjoy. And if it's anything similar to Dan Brown, Inferno, then I would probably be interested in reading it. The next one we got is called The Sisterhood by Helen Bryan. I'll be honest, I didn't even read the back of this. The front just kind of really intrigued me. It felt like a nice book. And then finally we picked up Mark Twain, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. It was only $2, so I figured I might as well pick it up. This is also the UK version because it has the UK pricing on it. So I thought that was kind of fun, and yeah, I'm excited to reread these. I think this is a fun book. I've read it before, obviously. I read it in school like a lot of people do, so there's that. And we're almost done now. I have one more pile left. This is again a pile that I got from Savers this time. Starting off with the very first book. This is called Looking for Alaska. What I thought was cool about this is that it is the exclusive collector's edition of this book. It also has won an award, and it's by John Green. John Green wrote The Fault in Our Stars, which is such a good book. At least I Really enjoyed that book, and this is his debut novel, so I hadn't even heard of it, but I had heard of him, so I was intrigued. It says in here, first drink, first prank, first friend, first girl, last words. It also, the person in here is named Miles Halter, and I literally had a friend in high school named Miles Halter. I hope this book is not about you, because I don't think it's going to be a good book about whoever Miles Halter is, but I thought it was kind of fun that I like knew somebody named that. So it says, Miles Halter is fascinated by famous last words and tired of a safe life at home. He leaves her boarding school to see what the dying poet Francois Rabelais, I don't know if I said that right, called the Great Perhaps. Looking for Alaska brilliantly chronicles the inevitable impact one life can have on one another. I thought it sounded really cool, to be honest. I'm excited to read this. Like, I'm really excited to read this because it sounds just super interesting. All right, next book we have The Miracle Inspector by Helen Smith. I thought this just sounded interesting. I'm definitely somebody who believes in miracles. I think that they still do happen. And so finding that there was, again, you know, this book, again, I can't read what the back says because of this freaking sticker back here, but sounds like it's interesting. A young couple tried to escape from London with disastrous consequences. That's the only thing that I can get out of this. So sounded kind of cool, I guess, but the title is kind of what spoke to me, The Miracle Inspector. I'm kind of excited to see what it's gonna be about. Hopefully it's good. All right, we only have 3 more books left. Here we go. This is Dava Shastri's Last Day by Kirthana Ramisetti. Don't know if I said that right, but it looked cool. It says that it is about somebody who decides to take her own life, and she summons her 4 adult children to her private island. She discloses her shocking news that she has a terminal illness and that she has arranged for the news of her death to break early so she can read her obituaries. She dedicated her life to the arts and the empowerment of women. She expects to read articles lauding her philanthropic work. Instead, her death reveals 2 devastating secrets. Truth she thought she had buried forever. And now the whole world knows, including her children, and she is still alive. So she has to figure out how to, I guess, make peace with it or change the narrative. I don't know. So sounded really cool. It was a Good Morning America book club pick, as you can see right here on the front cover. And yeah, I liked the cover as well. I thought that was kind of fun and unique and interesting. So was excited to find it. I actually walked past it a couple different times when I was at the thrift store, and finally when I was about to leave, I went and grabbed it because I just kept looking at it, but I wasn't putting it in my basket, so decided to grab it at the last second. We also have The Dark Behind the Screen. This is, again, can't really read very much of it, but I think it looks like it's somebody dies in a mysterious accident, maybe years after she worked in the cinema as a teenager. And her daughter, Tess, is determined to find out what happened in the process of discovering different secrets and mysteries concerning their heritage. So it's about that, I guess. Don't even know. But it's by Ben Dowell. Never even heard of that author before, but I'm excited to read it. It looked really interesting. The cover is like that matte, like nice feeling, velvety almost feeling cover. So that kind of also got me a little bit. And the last book that we picked up is Sold on a Monday by Christina McMorris. This front cover, just my tender heart just felt for it. Back of this says 2 children for sale. The sign is a last resort. It sits on a farmhouse porch in 1931, but could be found anywhere in the era of breadlines, bank runs, and broken dreams. It could have been written by any mother facing impossible choices. And it looks like this guy snaps a photograph of the children, not meant for publication, but it leads to his big break, and the consequences of it are more devastating than he could have ever imagined. It's actually inspired by an actual newspaper photograph that stunned the nation. I think my heart's gonna break when I read this. It looks so sad. I think it's about, yeah, a time when, like, you know, during the Great Depression, I guess 1931 was kind of, yeah, I guess like around that time when that Great Depression was happening, and people were probably so desperate that they couldn't take care of their kids and they wanted their kids to go to a good place. So devastating and so sad, but we got a pretty good lineup here, I think. I actually am really excited to read all these. I know I kept saying that I was having a hard time finding books at the thrift store, which it was hard just to find things I wanted to grab immediately, but I feel like because I was able to really sit and like take my time there, I got a really good lineup here. So I'm pretty excited about it all, and yeah, I'm excited to get reading. Anyway, that is it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to give it a thumbs up and go ahead and comment do a little shopping cart emoji down in the comment section down below. We can hang out in the comment section together, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye.